to the call room. We have had a fantastic week so far. I've absolutely loved it, and every single guest has been awesome. And today, that is no different. We have the British swimming sprint queen, Fran Halsall, joining us, which is super excited. I can't wait for this. I think Fran's just popped in, so we'll try and in here. Can't wait for this. This is going to be awesome. She's coming. It's loading. Please work. We had some technical difficulties yesterday, so hopefully this works. I have a feeling she can see me. I can't see her. We might have to re-add Fran in here.
Quigs, where are you?
Right. I'm gonna give it a few extra seconds and then try and re-add Fran. I think it's my system. I think someone said she's on, but I couldn't see her. So hopefully second round works. There we go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you, Quigs?
I'm great now that you're on this live with me. This is all I ever dreamed of as a young swimmer.
How weird is this? We probably live down the road from each other too, don't we?
This is weird, but it's also epic, and so many people are excited for this episode because it's you, including me.
I gotta live up to a lot then, haven't I?
You do, but I have no doubt you're going to, because I was literally saying to my mum earlier, there's not one time when I've been around Fran where you haven't made me laugh, proper belly laugh, or have the best time. So
do you know what though? I'd say the same about you. Like, literally, the one person on the team that I could always guarantee would have a smile on her face is you. And it was mega. Like, no matter what was going on or what was happening, it's always like, you always had like this like amazing big smile, and I loved it.
That's lovely. Thanks, Fran. Again, yeah, I'm going to clip that, put it on my LinkedIn. I'm set. Right, Fran. You don't need to intro yourself, but I'm just going to get you to anyway, in case anyone's living under a rock right now.
Well, I'm Fran Halsall. I used to swim, so ex-swimmer. I don't like saying ex, though, because it sounds like it's a bad breakup, but it wasn't a bad breakup.
No, it was good. Okay, we like that. Healthy breakup.
I started swimming for Great Britain in 2006, so a long time ago now. At the Melbourne Commonwealth Games was my first international, all the way through to 2016 Rio. And along the way, picked up a few medals, I think I was fastest woman in the world one year. What else did I do that was pretty cool? I'm an honorary doctor from Edge Hill University, so that's also epic. So I'm technically Dr. Fran Halsall now.
Yeah. Not only so Dr. Fran Halsall, but also, actually, I wanted to make this point. You are married, and it is Fran Wilkin as well.
Well, kind of. You prefer me to be Fran Wilkin, but I'm a Halsall through and through, unfortunately.
You are. You are. Yes, you are. You absolutely are. And I must say, just before we start, again, I've had a few of these moments. I've had a few girls on, particularly swam for Great Britain, pinch me moments almost. And I said to Kerry Ann the other day, this is a massive moment for me from my junior Lauren swimming is pinching herself right now, because this is, I watched you. You just said your first team was 2006. I watched Fran Halsall on the TV, and you were just, oh my God. And then when I made my first team, there's a moment where there's a few of us sat around the table, and I was just starstruck by you. I was like, Fran Halsall sat at the table right now. Should I eat what Fran's eating? Should I go and get exactly what Fran's got? And you were so lovely, and just made me feel super comfortable, and just thank you for that, because that.
Well, no, thank you. That's lovely. Like, that's really nice to hear. I'm glad to make you feel welcome. Like,
you did.
I suppose that's what you want from a team, because what we do is quite individual, isn't it? As a swimmer, it's you're focused on what you're doing, but then when you go away on those kind of teams, you want to connect, you want to bond, you want to make friends, and you're there to support each other, really, aren't you? And it's like, it's a tough world, isn't it? Because the emotions are up and down. So knowing that there's people around you there to support you is mega, isn't it?
Absolutely. And we're going to touch on some of the things that happened in your career, obviously. First question I ask every guest, it's the name of the podcast or the live show. What type of call room athlete were you, Fran? What were you like in the call room?
This is a really interesting question because I love the title of it, by the way. In the call room is such a mega, like, I love it because in the call room, it depended on my mood more than anything. Like, I'd like to know what you thought I was like in the call room because you were in a few call rooms with me. But also, like, did anything weird ever happen to you in a call room? When I was thinking about this, I was thinking about in the call room. I've been in some strange, like, call room situations.
Wow, please elaborate. Elaborate.
So I was thinking about it and I was like, in the 2008 Olympic trials, it was the 100 freestyle final at Ponds Forge in Sheffield. And obviously it's qualifying for the Olympics, so it's massive. There was, I think I was in lane 5 and Mel Marshall was supposed to be in lane 4, but she was late to the call room, so wasn't allowed to swim it. And I
remember this rule.
That? It's an Olympic swimming qualifying, and Mel wasn't, and she was the fastest person, and she wasn't even able to swim. So that was chaos, absolutely mad. Then another random thing that happened to me was at the 2011 World Championships in Shanghai. Yeah, in Shanghai. And I was in the call room. It was the 100 freestyle final again. I was in the call room. Everyone sat along, and I was sat next to someone who was sat next to somebody else. I'm not mentioning any names. I'm not telling
you.
But,
we'll speak after.
But basically, one of the girls was putting a hat on, and as she was putting a hat on, she elbowed the girl next to her in the face. And I was like, oh God, that's really crazy. But then after that, I thought she must have known that she's invading someone's personal space here. Then she starts pulling her suit straps up and elbows her again in the side.
No.
And I was just like, can't believe this. Then, like, completely, like, forgot about it. And then the girl that it happened to, it was all over the media that she'd been abused by a European girl in the call room. So then money gets brought into it. And I was just like, oh my God, can you imagine me elbowing someone in the face?
No chance, not a chance. That's unbelievable. Nothing ever happened like that to me. Nothing ever happened like that to me.
Just always me. I seem to get myself in some predicaments, don't I?
You definitely do, Fran. You definitely do. That's why I think this is going to be brilliant. I don't know what we're going to hear, but it's going to be great stuff. Wow. Okay. So it depended really on the event, what mood you were in.
Yeah, and like, so some days I was like really focused in my zone. Some days it was like, my coach was making me swim a 400, so obviously didn't want to be there. And then other days I was dead chatty and like wanted to talk to people. And then like I always wanted to talk because I got a bit of a girl crush on Federica Pellegrini. She's like her to bit. So anytime she's in the colour, I'll be like
following her around. Copying everything she did. Oh,
exactly. I was like, please talk to me. Please. Get some of your cool rub off on me.
The funny thing though with that, Fran, is there's so many people that will have been doing that to you all through your career. And you just will not realise. I'm sure I was one of those people at one point, like, Fran Halsall. Just quickly, everyone that's watching live, thank you. Thanks for saying hi. If you've got any questions, just ask in the chat and we'll get to them. We're going to get into the quickfire round now. I love this round. Don't think too much about it, Fran. Just give me the first answer that comes to mind, okay?
Yeah,
so if not swimming, then what?
Oh, well, I'd love to have been good at golf because the longevity in that would be amazing. So I could still be travelling the world playing golf now, couldn't I? And if I was as good at golf as I was at swimming, I'd be living in a mansion somewhere.
You would. That would be awesome. Okay, real tree or fake tree?
Real tree, definitely.
Real tree. Did you prefer racing outside or inside?
Outside, always. And that's why I did backstroke as well as freestyle, so I could get like an even tan on both sides.
I love it. I do actually remember when you crossed over into a bit of backstroke and you smashed it, and I was like, okay then. There we go. What is your Christmas drink of choice?
Christmas, okay. Like, I love red wine, but I've literally, the other day, a friend of mine introduced me to hot, like chocolate milk with a little dash of rum in. And that is a very good Christmas drink. So I think that's going to be my Christmas drink this year.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Individual bronze or relay gold?
Relay gold every day.
It's got to be. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Do you say, or do you call him Father Christmas or Santa Claus?
That's a good question. I think
Tell me about
Santa,
it.
but he is. I'd say he's Father Christmas, but I think I do call him Santa.
Yeah, it's weird,
that's quite American, isn't it?
Is it? Yeah, it probably is actually. If you had to change your main event, you probably had the best main event, but if you had to change it to another one, you had the best main events, should I say? You were so good at so many. But if you had to change it, what would you change it to?
Okay. Yeah, you're probably right. I probably fitted myself into the 50 freestyle because it was the best event to do.
Yeah. Well, you smashed it, so why out would you do anything else?
200 medley. 200 medley.
Wow. Yeah, that's a toughie.
If I could do breaststroke, I'd be a 200 medley swimmer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I could do breaststroke, that I can definitely relate to that one. Single coloured lights or multicolored lights?
Single coloured lights on my tree, but outside my house, multicolored lights.
Oh, nice. A bit of a mix.
Yeah.
Racer or trainer?
Racer, definitely.
Your favourite item on the Christmas dinner plate?
Pigs in blankets.
Yeah, good choice.
Gotta be.
Would you rather be able to have fins as feet when you swim or be able to breathe underwater?
Fins as feet. I love.
I knew that was coming.
Oh my gosh! So my fins and snorkels. I literally slept with them. Not as bad as Liam Tancock. Liam Tancock was a master of fins. However, my fins and my snorkel that was called Ken, because he was like little bright pink snorkel called Ken, travelled everywhere with me. And literally, I nearly had a panic attack when at Mare Nostrum I couldn't find my fins.
Oh no. Oh no! Wherever you were, your fins were. I can always see your fins within like 3 meters.
Oh, definitely. If I go swimming now, I take them with me still, and wear my fins when I'm swimming. It's just got to be done.
You've got to. Your favourite Christmas film, Fran?
Favourite Christmas film? Love Actually. Yeah, I'm a sucker for Love Actually.
That's a popular one. I'll give you that, definitely. Do you have an advent calendar?
I don't, which is actually really disappointing because when I first got together with my now husband, he got me a gin advent calendar. I thought, I'm in here. Wow. This is great. I know, I'll get the best advent calendars ever. And then now I don't even get one now we're married.
Oh, that's not good enough. I'm going to have a word with him, I think. I'm going to have a word. Morning training or afternoon training?
Afternoon training. I'm like a bit of a get into the day type of girl. Yeah. Anything. Nice. We were quite lucky at Loughborough. We trained at 8 till 10 in the mornings when I was there. Lovely. So it was quite a lot nicer than at school, and it's the 5:30 starts. But even that still I was like afternoon, speed working in afternoon, a typical sprinter.
Yeah. I get that. What's at the top of your tree, Fran?
Okay, confession. Haven't actually got a tree up at the moment.
If you had one, what would be on the top of it?
Star on the top of it. Yeah,
the traditional style, I like it. What's your favourite pool in the UK?
London Aquatic Centre, followed by Wavertree.
Nice. Okay, fair enough. And the last one, your favourite Christmas tune? Favourite Christmas song?
Oh, Greg Lake, I Believe in Father Christmas. That's
my favourite.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's cool. I like that one. Yeah.
Good choice. Okay, sweet. That's the quickfire over. We're going to get into the... what was that?
Did I pass the quickfire round? How did I do?
I mean, apart from not having a tree, you did great. You did great, but the tree let you down there, Fran.
Oh, no.
Were you getting a tree?
Yes, so we're getting a kitchen extension done because obviously during lockdown, been at home so much. Yeah, so it's like I need this kitchen extension doing, but it's been going since blooming July. So once it's finished, which it should be done by the end of the weekend, I'm getting my tree in and it will be up. Brilliant. I'll send you a picture. It'll be
Please
there.
do. That will be on the. It'll be on the Quigley Sport Instagram story. Because where else should that go? Yeah, definitely send it in. We did get some questions. I did see one that says, "Why have you dyed your hair pink?" But it's not pink, and
It's
it
like a
looks
peachy
awesome.
colour.
Yeah. What was
It's
the?
a Christmas feel. That's
I like
so
it.
I went quite blonde, and then because when you swim, you can't really do much with your hair, can you? Well, I didn't. I just kind of left it to do its own thing. So now, very into changing up my hair color and style. Now I've got time to.
No, I like it. Definitely. Why not? I would love for you to just explain a bit about your start in swimming, Fran.
Okay. So I started swimming when I was 8 in Ormskirk, so just outside of Liverpool, and I would not put my face in the water for the life of me. I found freestyle so hard. I couldn't get the breathing. It just wasn't happening. So I started off as a backstroker, pretty much because I couldn't get the breathing as a front crawl swimmer. And then I went to City of Liverpool, swam at City of Liverpool, and that was miles away from my house. Like, I don't know how my parents managed it. We lived about an hour away from training. So when you're young and it was literally a well-oiled machine by the time I was in high school, because I'd go to training in the morning, that took an hour to get there, then to school, then back to training, and then back home. So I literally, it was absolutely crazy. But my auntie used to swim, and I used to go around to my grandma's house and try on her medals. And I was like, I want some of these medals. So so that's how I got into swimming, really. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool. That's similar to me. My auntie swam, and mum and I just sort of watched them and loved it, and then got involved with that. That's really, I didn't know that, so that's really interesting for me to hear. There was another question that I'm just found, and it says, interested in knowing how you're dealing with life after swimming. Do you find your competitive edge is still there?
It's been a really interesting transition, actually, because I think when I decided I was retiring, that was it. I was retiring. But as time's gone on, I've been able to address, assess, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I opened up my own coffee shop in just outside Manchester. I've also been and worked in one of the best media agencies in the world, and I've done different bits and bobs, but I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do. I'm trying to be kind with myself on it, because I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, and whatever I do now is for the rest of my life. And I'd love to use my swimming and what I've learned in my swimming going on through the rest of my life. And I think there was a lot, it was really interesting when I came out, the swimming bubble, you're surrounded by people who all kind of think the same and want the same things and behave in similar ways, and you learn, you're an elite performer, aren't you? And then when you come out and that's not really the norm, and it's weird because you think that's the norm, but there's so much that the business world and everybody can learn from sports people that it's massive. So it's been a good learning few years for me to understand how I put that into action, which is it's been fun, but it's made me reflect on a lot of what I did in my career and how I did it and why I did it and the ups and downs and what's led me to being successful or what led to the points where I felt like a failure. And that's been a really interesting mental journey for me, I suppose.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I mean, you had one of the best journeys in Britain ever in swimming, and it was, it's an honour to have you on just because of your journey and to have watched you go through all of the highs and the lows and all that sort of stuff. Speaking of reflecting though, and the highs and the lows, what was the lowest moment of your career, and has that changed from when you first retired to now? Has it changed at all?
No, it hasn't changed, but I've been able to use it in a more positive way. But so the lowest point for me was the 2012 Olympic Games, without a doubt. So before it, in 2009, I won a world silver medal in the 100 freestyle. That was a little bit unexpected, but fantastic. 2010, I won 5 medals at the European Championships, won Commonwealth gold. Then 2011 World Championships, I was had ankle surgery and was fastest through to the final, which was kind of crazy. I never expected to be in that position, and then came fourth there. So that was a bit of my first dealing with disappointment. And then 2012, I was like, right, time to put this right. Home Olympics. All I've been thinking about since it was announced that it was going to be London was the London Olympic Games, and that was it. And that year, I put so much pressure on myself. I got so thin, Lauren. Like, I was just like, literally, I was so skinny because I think I just was really anxious about it and didn't address it. I never addressed how anxious I felt in the lead up to the games. But because we were training in Loughborough, and that was like one of the centres where the British team were going to be hosted, there was just Olympic banners every day for 300 days on the way to training. So there was no way of getting away from it. So you were thinking about it every single day. And I didn't get the results I wanted in London. And that was then when I really had to deal with what failure looks like and how do I deal with that? Because I just thought that my whole me as a person was wrapped around being a good swimmer, and to be a good swimmer you had to be an Olympic medalist, which is utterly crazy, isn't it? It's actually mad when you think about it like that. And so for months afterwards, I kind of was waking up in the night crying, thinking I've missed my opportunity, I'm crap at this, I shouldn't be doing this, like, why do I bother? I've just absolutely like made a mess of it, I'm not good at swimming basically. And like I had to really pick myself up from that, and that was a massive changing moment in my life. I changed coaches, started with James Gibson, who's like, I could not praise James enough for how he is as a coach, but also how he is as a person, to be able to deal with everybody individually. So I think a lot of coaches, like, yes, you can produce a good swimmer, but James had a squad of 6 of us that all won Commonwealth medals in different strokes, different distances. And that's kind of crazy. It shows the caliber of coach he is. But he put me on to a sports psychologist, which I was never going to do. And he was like, no, go see a sports psychologist, Steve Peters, Chimp Paradox. You need to talk to him. So I started talking to Steve Peters. And the first thing he said to me was, you think that like swimming's the be all and end all, you're just a glorified entertainer. And I was like, oh my god.
I love those moments when you're like, oh,
I'm a glorified entertainer. No, I'm not. What I do is really important. But that was the first step for me on the way to kind of, I started to view swimming a lot differently then, and like what I actually got from it. Because before that, it was all about just racing and being the best and being the fastest. But actually, I started to enjoy everything around it. Like, do you know when you go to swimming competitions and you just see the swimming pool and the bus and the hotel and that's it? Yeah. And I kind of got away from that completely. And I remember being in Berlin for the European Championships in 2014. And I was like, I'm going to see Berlin. And like literally I had about 7 events to do, and everyone's like, save your legs, save your legs. And I'm there with my Frankfurt sausage, like wandering around Berlin, right? Absolutely lapping it up and loving it. And that actually ultimately made me swim better. That was one of the best years that I ever had, because I was relaxed, I was enjoying it. I was like taking in everything that I was doing. And actually what we're doing is really cool. And the more I was in the flow of just enjoying myself rather than trying to be this really strict, stern athlete that everybody told me to be, I actually swam better when I was just in Fran mode. So that's kind of what I learned from London, and the failure was that I like swimming. I'm a good swimmer. Like literally, it was mad me thinking I wasn't a good swimmer. I actually came out of the London Olympics still ranked 2nd fastest in the world, just without an Olympic medal. But then I was like, no, I'm crap at swimming, which is mad. So unbelievable. I changed that whole mindset that I'm good at swimming. I'm like really good at swimming, and I really enjoy doing it. And I just want to be the best that I can be. And I know that I gave my best. So I kind of readdressed it. And then from 2012 to 2016, had the best 4 years ever. Loved every minute of it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you could tell, you know, that's when I sort of came onto the team, and seeing you happy and around poolside and loving it is so infectious, and you don't realise at the time you're just going around and loving it, and say full side and having a laugh with everyone. But that really brought up the team, and I remember the 2013 Barcelona World Championships, and the team didn't necessarily do the best, and we basically all, not put all the pressure on you, but you were the only one that did really well and got us a medal, thank God.
Do you know what's really funny about that? That it was, because my swim was the last day, wasn't it? I remember being
Yes, it was.
I think you were on the bus with me, like to and from that day. But I was like, literally, I didn't even realise, I was just in like Fran mode of just like bouncing around, enjoying myself, like chatting to everybody, and I was enjoying it that much so I didn't even realise. And literally, when I think back, it's actually quite a lot of pressure that being the last person to swim, but I didn't see it as that because I was literally just enjoying it, and I was like, right, I've got a great opportunity here to potentially get a World Championship medal. That'd be mega. But I've had a great season. It's been a great year. We've been to Thailand, blooming heck, yes, got to go to Thailand on a training camp. Literally, James introduced me to all the sprint freestyle boys in France that are all obviously absolutely gorgeous. So I was having a great time. And so it was like a mega year that then all accumulated in swimming really well at the end of it. And I was like mega chuffed with that. It was a great stepping stone for me that year. Really good.
Definitely, and I can see why. And I remember speaking to someone actually at that competition, I think it was the last day, and I said, don't worry, we're fine, we've got Fran in, she'll get us something. I was just like, she's in Fran mode, she's good. But no, and super, obviously, like I said, inspiring, and people are commenting saying how inspiring you were and are, and it's so true. At one point in your career, and I've meant to ask you this for years, but I just never did. You had a signature move after a race. Do you remember that?
No. Go on.
I think you only did it a few times, but you did that.
2008, yes, Manchester. and
me and my family loved it. We were like, we didn't know what it was, but we loved it. And then you stopped doing it. What was that?
It was literally all my school friends on photos. Like, do you know now it's like the Instagram accounts. That was like our photos. Like everybody's just like this. But that was mega, that competition. So it was Manchester MEN Arena. They sank a swimming pool into it for the World Short Course Championships, and it was just off the back of the Olympic trials. So I was buzzing because I'd just qualified for the Olympics. So we went into swimming the MEN, which again is amazing. And then it was my 18th birthday as well. So one of my most vivid memories is I got 3 birthday cakes. So it was exactly.
Bless you, Emma.
So I came, you know, when you get out the pool and you go through the mix zone and you get taken to the mix zone, the staff and support staff had got me a cake. So everybody in the mix zone singing happy birthday to
That's
me.
incredible. That's amazing.
I was just like, that was one of the most like best memories ever.
Yeah.
The World Short Course Championship. I've got all the media like singing happy birthday.
That's incredible. I came to watch you there because my dad was really heavily involved in the events, you know, planning and everything for it. And
he
I remember
might have been involved in
my
cake then. You need to ask him.
I'm gonna ask him later. I'm gonna be like, Dad, was this you? Because that is great. Speaking of, I mean, highlight careers, you've just touched on it. But what was your ultimate, absolute highlight career moment where you just like, that was it?
Do you know what? I have like 3 moments of my career that will always stand out for me. And like 2 of them were really unexpected for me. I think the unexpected ones where you just literally, you know how when it's a good swim, you know, don't you? Because it just comes easy and feels easy. I don't know about distance swimming whether it's the same, but in sprinting, if you touch when you touch the wall and you're like, oh, that felt pretty good. You look up and you go, oh, yes, what's good? So my first memory that was like literally it'll last a lifetime was the Budapest European Championships in 2006. So my first senior European Championships. And I had to anchor the medley relay, which is on the last day of the competition, isn't it? And I'm 16. Right. I'm 16 anchoring a British team medley relay. And the girl from Germany had just broken the world record on the 100 freestyle, Britta Steffen, in the individual event. And we had Mel doing backstroke, and Mel's obviously known for a freestyle, so we didn't have really at the time a backstroker, like a pure sprint backstroker to do it. And so we were just having some fun. We were like, right, okay, let's get in and see what we could do. And no one had like explained to me that I'd be diving in first place, had they? So I was not ready for that at all. So I'm stood on the blocks about to take over. And I looked down the line, like, blooming heck, I'm like, I've got like a world champion, world record holder that's going to be chasing me for the next like 54 seconds. My knees start to shake a little bit. I'm like, oh God, like what's going to happen? And then we won, and that was like absolutely incredible. Sharing that with the 3 other girls in my team was mega. Absolutely loved it. There was no better feeling because it was totally unexpected. I thought I'd just be going in, be really good fun. And then ended up being in that situation and coming out. I think I just touched her out. It was like that close. But I remember she said afterwards in an interview, Britta Steffen. So I idolised her, looked up to her loads. Like she was mega. Like wow, fastest woman ever, incredible. And she said in an interview afterwards, "Oh, that British girl's fantastic." And I was like, oh. It was, so that was like literally, I was so happy with that. I was like, yes, that's good. I'm like kicking it with the big guns now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So that was mega. And then 2009 World Championships in Rome. Like, I think it was the last outdoor World Championships ever. I don't think they're allowed to have them outdoors anymore. But it was incredible. Like that stadium, the old Olympic Stadium, is beautiful. Federica Pellegrini, everybody loves her in Italy. So the stands were full, they were rocking. Wow. Everyone was so passionate. It was incredible. It was so sunny, so warm, and like to get a silver medal there, I expected to make the final, that's what I wanted to do. But then to come out with the medal, I was just like, yes. Wow. So that was epic. And then Glasgow 2014, that was
has to be.
Well, that's yours as well, isn't it? That's got to be up there with your favourite things.
Yeah, but this is not about me, Fran, this is about you. And that was a moment. I remember that race, I remember the goosebumps. It was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Explain what that race was like, because that was almost like in flow state, you seemed.
Yeah.
Like you said, funny mode.
It was like, so obviously for our events, like the sprint events, the Europeans and the Commonwealth is mega competitive, isn't it? And everybody says they're not, it doesn't mean as much because the Americans aren't there, but if you look back through from about 2008, like the Europeans and the Aussies have pretty much been dominating the sprint freestyles, especially. So I have then in the 50 freestyle, I had Kate Campbell and Bronte Campbell, who are mega, such good swimmers. Like the way Kate Campbell swims freestyle is so beautiful. Like literally just see these long limbs and like in all their glory. I was like, absolutely incredible. But I was just in the, I know what I need to do. Like, I've had a great year. It's been great fun. I've enjoyed myself. I was sharing with Lizzie Simmons, who's like my go-to, always share with Lizzie. We were having a great time. And it was so much fun. And like, the atmosphere there was great. And it just happened. I didn't expect to swim that fast. Like, I knew I was swimming well, but I didn't expect to swim that fast. And then my 50 fly as well just like led on from the freestyle. And it was an epic competition. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Yeah.
Definitely. With a sort of home crowd as well, wasn't it? So it super special. Fantastic event. And also Jewel in the Pool was there where we nearly won.
Oh my God.
Which was absolutely fabulous.
That. My fault, you know.
No way. You swam phenomenally there. That was, I still say to this day, I feel like we won. We definitely won.
It was mega. So that final relay that it came down to, where it was the like 50s, it was like a mixed medley 50, wasn't it? And I think I just got out of the pool from doing something, and I was in the swim down pool. James was like, Fran, you're gonna have to back this up now. I was like, James, I think I'm going to be sick. He's like, no, you're fine, you're fine. I was like, no, I'm going to be sick. And then I just stood on him.
Oh.
Okay, she was going to be sick. What do I do?
Yeah. Well, you pulled out the bag, so you smashed
that
it.
was actually mega though, because we obviously come out and it's just head to head. Us against America, 2 relay teams, and all the European teams start congregating, and everyone's moving more forward and more forward towards the block. You try to do a relay start, and everybody's just there. It was incredible. I can only imagine that that's what the ISL feels like, because that was epic. I was absolutely buzzed off swimming in the ISL, because if that kind of atmosphere really is, it's magic, isn't it?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, definitely, and I can imagine you would have been awesome in the ISL. Perfect swimmer for that, for sure. I had a question, and it's a great question. What did your pre-race breakfast look like?
My pre-race breakfast. Oh, good question. Very good question. I liked it when my nutritionist told me that I should always have a porridge at a certain time before I raced. But if there's a breakfast buffet on offer, like, come on, are you gonna have a porridge if there's a good breakfast buffet on offer? So occasionally it might have ranged out to some beans on toast with a sneaky hash brown on the side, but traditionally it was the porridge, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm with you on that.
Did you used to have like, do you know when you went to swimming competitions when you were younger, did you used to have like boxes of pasta that you took with you?
Yeah.
Did you do pasta? Yeah. What about jelly? Did you take the jelly chunks? My mum always used to give me jelly chunks.
I never did the jelly, but jelly was very popular.
Oh dear. And never go near bananas, because they just squidge all over your swimming bag.
Well, no, I was never a fan of bananas in the start, but I quite liked them in the end. But yeah, they would get smushed, and it's not very nice like that.
No.
I asked Lucy Charles today, your fangirl, your number one fangirl, if she had a question, and she said, and it also mirrored my question, when are you doing a triathlon?
Can you imagine?
You'd be great.
Oh my gosh, I'd actually liked it. So I've done a marathon. I ran the New York Marathon, which was absolutely incredible.
I remember. Yeah.
It literally, I've never been as emotional as 3 hours, 40 minutes into still running. I'm not
surprised.
I was thinking to myself, right, I was like, yes, like as a swimmer, you're very fit because you spend a lot of time in the water. I can't remember even standing up for like 4 hours in a row. Do you know what I mean? No. Like you'd go training, wouldn't you? Then you go and sit down, rest your legs, get your legs up. So I was like, I don't even know when I've actually spent this long on my feet before. And now I've just ran for all this time. So maybe I could do a triathlon, although it's the open water swimming bit that's like, I've got a road bike, so I like going out on my road bike. I did the Ride 100, so I have been doing bits of other stuff, but I think I'd go out too hard on the swim, wouldn't I? And 100 meters in, blow up.
A course record to 100 meters. So I'm guessing Ironman's out. I'm guessing Ironman is out.
Ironman is out, yes.
Oh. Come on, Fran. We need to get you on the Ironman.
I know. Yeah. I need to work on my endurance abilities, that's for sure. Even now, like I go to the gym and I still just want to do like hang cleans and like really heavy deadlifts. And my other half, who's obviously a rugby player, he's like really like endurance based though. So he's on the treadmill and I'm there doing like the really heavy squats.
That's amazing. In terms of training, hardest session you've ever done, is there one that comes to mind when you think, oh gosh, that was
loads actually.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's so many.
So when I was younger, I did actually do quite a lot of like distancey work, which is probably not that known. But I went to swim at Wigan Pool on a Saturday morning with Keith Bewley, who was a mega coach. Like he was incredible, and like Wigan had a 50-meter pool, and it was the only one. It was the closest 50-meter pool to me. So once a week, I'd go on a Saturday morning to go and train at Wigan Pool because it was long course. But I used to hate it because it was all distance IM. So literally it was like 400 fly, 400 back, 400 breast, 400 free, 300 fly, 300 back, 300 breast, 300 free, all the way down the pyramid, and then finish with a max 400 medley. I was just like, Mom, can you please don't take me again?
I've done one now, that'll do. Wow,
so that was pretty
brutal.
epic. But I used to find swimming like thresholdy really hard, because I can either go fast or go slow. So anything threshold based I really struggled with, and like James used to force me to do it. So I do like used to do 30-50s like holding pace, and I used to hate that. I was all about like getting the fins on, doing some overspeed, doing the dive 25s max or a lactate set. I loved those, like just getting out, chilling for 6 minutes, 650s, best effort. They were like my bread and butter. I could lap them.
I can imagine.
But anything threshold, when it's your 30-50s, 2100s, like short rest, I was like, my poor shoulders.
No, please. It all makes you the athlete you were there, which was absolutely incredible. So, and although you didn't really enjoy the threshold stuff, it obviously paid off. And James obviously knew what he was doing, didn't he?
Yeah, I can't complain too much, I suppose.
No.
Although he might say I did complain a little bit at the time.
Yeah, but you have to. That's all part and parcel of it, isn't it? Inspirations, Fran. Who are your inspirations? Or, if not a person, what inspired you? What made you keep going?
Do you know what? I had a fish called Inga de Bruin. Because like I watched the Sydney Olympics, and she was like, Dutch sprinting's mega, isn't it? All the like they have such a rich history in sprinting. And Inga de Bruin swam the 100 freestyle, 100 butterfly, 50 freestyle, and she smashed it. And I was like, I want to be like her. And she's had the long nails, blonde hair. She was like glamorous as well. I was like, I love her. So she was like my first. And then I watched Stephen Parry win bronze in Athens, and that was massive for me as well, because he was from Liverpool and I'm from Liverpool. I was like, if he can do it and he swam in the same pool that I swim in, then I can do it too. And it was just, so he was a massive like inspiration for me and role model. And then obviously my parents, huge influence on my career. And then more recently, like being able to be in a relationship with another sports person has been massively inspiring too, seeing what he does and having him there and watching how he conducts himself in a sporting arena was huge for me as well.
Wow, some great inspirations there. For sure. There's a few questions left. I'm interested to know, I don't remember you doing anything particular, but did you have any superstitions behind the blocks or routine or anything that you had to do?
Lauren, I shoved my goggles into my eyeballs.
You did?
Yes, wow,
yes,
literally. Yes. So, do you know how Ponds Forge is really warm, the poolside?
Yes, yes.
It's like hotter than, I'm sure the face of the sun would be cooler than Ponds Forge.
Absolutely.
Yeah, literally. But my goggles were that tight that my hat, and like, if you put your hat and goggles on too soon before you raced, my face would just be bright red, and I hadn't even like got on the blocks yet or done anything. But because I had my goggles that tight as well, my head just constantly started throbbing. But then I just had this massive like anxiety about my goggles falling off when I swam. So I was like, they were saying take your marks. I'm still going like this, and I knew one day I'd get disqualified for it, because you're not supposed to move, are you, after they've blown the whistle? No. And I'm still like this. I can't like stop myself pushing my goggles into my eyes. They only came off once though. They snapped, and my goggles actually snapped before the final in London, like qualifying for the 100 butterfly. So, and I didn't have any spares. So I was behind the blocks, I was pushing them in, and they went pop. And I was like, what do I do? And like, absolute rookie mistake, didn't have any with me. So my initial reaction is just walk off poolside. So I was going to qualifying for the Olympics, 100 butterfly, and I'm off. Just see you later.
So did you just...
I got to lane 7, Jess Sylvester, bless her, pulled out a pair of goggles and lent me her goggles to swim in. Like, I was gone. I was like leaving poolside.
Oh God, just be a minute.
Exactly. I was like, would they wait for me? I don't even know. I think they'd just swim it without me. But I was like, I can't swim. It's if I'm qualifying for Olympics. I need my goggles.
Oh my Lord, that's insane. I did not know that. Wow. you posted a few months ago about this is me, post-retirement. I'm still amazing, you know, but this is me. Not in that, you know, I'm amazing, but you know, like a confidence post really. And that was incredible. And then I've spoke to people over the last few months that have brought it up, or I brought it up, and it's things like that that help everybody get through retiring and stuff like that. So first of all, thank you for doing that. Second of all, what made you do that? Why did you feel that you wanted to do that?
I think I get a bit annoyed with social media. I've never done an Instagram. Yeah. This is my first Instagram live, but I don't follow anybody that is an influencer or like is anything in that space. I literally, the people that I follow are my friends, food and drink, like home stuff, and people that inspire me, like Elizabeth Day, who hosts the How to Fail with Elizabeth Day podcast. Like people like that are the only people I follow. And like when I like see pictures of people that have edited and feel they have to be a certain way and look a certain way, makes me really sad, because the most beauty in someone is what they are and who they are. You don't have to conform to a filter or a skinny app or something like that. Like literally, as I said, I was one of the fastest women in the world, but at the time I still didn't have a six-pack. Never had a six-pack in my life, but that doesn't mean that I'm not me and I shouldn't be proud of my body or I don't look good. Like literally, like every person has their uniqueness that I hate to see that be dulled. Everyone can shine in their own way, and you don't need to conform. And it upsets me. It makes me, when I see the pictures, and like I'm just like, oh, and then I find myself going, I don't look like that. And I'm like, well, nobody has to look like that. You shouldn't have to. So I don't have any of that in my life. And everybody, like, if I can inspire anybody to be them and just do them, literally just do you. That's my thing. Like, and if I don't just do me, I just do Blue, who's my dog. And like, yes. So either just do you or just do Blue, because Blue is literally so content, so happy with his big chocolate curls and just like getting dirty in the mud, and that's the highlight of his day. I'm like, yes, be more Blue or be more you.
Absolutely. And I think that's probably the best bit of speaking anyone's done on any of these shows, and it means a lot. And you know, thank you for doing that. I really mean that.
But you know how it is, Laura, don't you? Like, we spent all our lives in swimming costumes, and you can feel a little bit uncomfortable at certain points. You know, like your armpits are a bit hairy, or like you haven't shaved your legs because you're not tapered and things like that. Yeah. And like, do you know what? Like, my family loved me, my friends loved me, and that is ultimately all that matters. Anybody else's opinion. And as I've got older, I've learned this more. Now I've turned 30 and I'm getting old. And like, I do honestly think that that's all that matters. Like, nobody, like, if I put something on Instagram, like, I want it to be real and inspiring for people. I don't want it to be, look what I'm doing and you're not, if that makes sense. Like, it's more about like, we're all in this together, and attachment and communication. That's what I want to use it for. I don't want to use it to go, here's like my massive Range Rover and here's me posing on the front of it with my gorgeous hair and skinny body. I want it to be, hi guys, let's have time.
Yeah, I love it. Wise words, super important words. Just fantastic. And again, I loved it. I loved seeing it. What is Fran up to now? You touched on it a little bit earlier, but what are you up to now? I know you said you're not sure and you're still figuring it out, and we all are. But yeah, what are you up to? Is there anything that you want to do? Goals?
So I'm doing some more public speaking. So I'm getting more into that route of things, going into businesses, talking about the similarities between sport and business, and what business can learn from sport and vice versa, and how as an athlete you have to be resilient, what teamwork looks like in our sport, what goal setting's like. So I've started to get more into that remit, which has been mega, because I love learning. And like, I've learned so much this year. I've been reading so many great books. I've been just consuming everything that I can about mindset and how people are and why they are the way they are. And then relating that back to why athletes are the way they are, why swimmers are the way they are. And that's been mega interesting. And there's so much you can cover on it and so much that everybody can share. Because I just think that the more people share and communicate, the better everybody is, and the more successful. If I share with you, you'll share back with me, and that only makes me better as a person. So why would like the sharing knowledge and understanding and mindset is like of massive interest to me at the moment.
And that's brilliant to hear, because just from you speaking in this episode, I could listen to you all evening.
Oh, thanks, Quigs. Well, we can chat all evening if you want.
Yeah, well, end this call and then
wine, and then we're sorted.
Yeah, and then we can name names and all that. So no, I'm kidding. But yeah, no. Well, that's great to hear, and you know, you're obviously fabulous at it, and you're only going to get better. So that's brilliant. Last question. I like to ask every guest this at the end. I think it's super important, and you've touched on loads of absolute nuggets of advice in this. But if you go back to younger Fran starting her swimming career again, apart from the obvious, enjoy it, blah blah blah, what would you say to
her? The only real keys to success are hard work and commitment, and daily disciplines rule all. That's what I tell myself, and that it's worth it. Like, it is actually worth it. The days that you can't be arsed, do it. Like, just do it. Like, don't procrastinate, just do. That would be what I'd say. Because literally, the amount of times I get asked about motivation and what kept me motivated, most of the time it wasn't motivation, it's commitment and committing to do something. When I was first starting doing early morning training and getting into the British swimming setup, my dad came into my bedroom and said, "Fran, do you want to do this? Like, it's a lot of commitment. Do you want to do it?" And I just said, "Yeah, I'm committed to doing it." And then from then, it was me that set the alarm. It was me that woke up and went every day. Just got in the car. I didn't speak, didn't want to be there. Like, I wanted to be there, but I didn't want to speak because it was 5 o'clock in the morning and I'd be grumpy. But I always committed to doing it. And it's worth committing to. I tell myself, this journey that you're going on now will stand you in good stead for anything that you want to do in life. Sport is such a key to learning about yourself, learning resilience, because at the moment everybody needs a bit of resilience, don't they? Like, what's going on? You've got to be flexible with what you're doing. You've got to be able to bounce back from things happening, and you've got to learn how to fail. And the thing that sport does is it gives you that, and it gives you like all these skills that you need in life. So keep with the swimming, Fran, because it's going to teach you a lot that you're going to need forever.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And it's all, anyone that's listening or just about to start their career, or at the start or whatever, if you've heard anything, do take it on board, because this woman knows what she's talking about.
Sometimes,
Fran, I honestly, I bigged you up to everyone about your episode this week. I said, this girl, you will have a good time, guaranteed. Not only have we had a good time, we've heard some absolutely brilliant stuff, and we've got to learn a little bit more about you. So what more could we want? So thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. And what you're doing with Quigley Sport, I must say, is mega, and like inspiring younger athletes and everyone that you can about swimming and getting them into swimming and learning lessons that you've learned, teaching them. That is mega, but I wouldn't expect anything less from you.
Oh, thanks, Fran. That's so lovely, and it really means a lot. You know, I'm going to end this video now and go, oh my gosh, Fran Halsall just said that to me. It's going to be my ringtone, all that. But no, you've been great, and you know, just keep smashing it, keep doing what you're doing. We're all dead proud of you. You know, I have been all my career. And yeah, no, just have a great Christmas.
You're going to make me emotional.
Well, you can go and have a drink now and celebrate that you've done it.
Well, Merry Christmas. And Merry Christmas to anybody that watches or watching. And thank you for having me on. It's been mega.
No problem. Thank you to everyone that's watched, live or afterwards. It means a lot that you've watched, and I'm sure you've really enjoyed this episode, because I definitely have. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks, Fran.
Bye.
Bye.